You're here because you are trying to figure out what zoning is all about. How does it affect my business? Especially if you have a brick and mortar business, you're probably trying to get a business license, and suddenly they're asking you, what type of zoning is your business zoned for? You're looking like you have no idea what that is. And now that you're watching this video, let me let you in on a little secret. You should have known that before you signed the lease. Okay, so what is zoning and how does it affect your business? Every city or township determines what type of business can be placed in a building. There's typically a mix of different types of businesses all on one street or an area. So for instance, when you go over to a shopping plaza, there's usually not a whole bunch of all retail stores in that plaza, right? Typically, there's a good mix. So you might have a retail store, you might have a restaurant, pharmacy, doctor's office, etc. That's because it's helpful for the common consumer to be able to do multiple things in one place. When buildings are created by developers and cities alike, they usually are trying to determine early on what type of zoning each building is going to be used for. Now, as time progresses and businesses come and go, that building may change their use. So for instance, I leased the space for my healthcare training school, Hero Institute, and it was initially zoned as retail. Actually, it was a Boost Mobile store. Now, I'm coming in and I want to change the use of that building. So typically, if you want to do that, you actually have to petition the city and ask for a zoning change. Fun fact, did you know that you actually have a say on what business can come into your city? Yeah, that's right. So that liquor store you've been fussing about, or that burger joint that you can't stand because there's so many of them in your community, well, you actually had an opportunity to protest that. That's right, you had an opportunity to actually use your voice and you didn't. Typically, there are zoning meetings once a month where applications go before the city commissioners. And at this meeting, the commissioners get to determine whether or not the application should be approved or denied. They are typically looking for individuals from the community, like you, to come and speak up on that issue and let them know whether or not that business should enter the community or not. The commissioners will now see the next zoning application for Hero Institute. Hero Institute, are you here today? Yes, we are looking to start a healthcare training school in the community because we really want to make a difference and educate our community. Oh, that sounds so nice. Looking at this application, everything looks great. I think you're going to do great things for the community. Does anyone oppose Hero Institute starting a school in the community? I object. How dare you try to come in my community and educate people? What are you, a book hugger? Now, in that situation, somebody has something to say, but if no one actually shows up to the meeting, then the commissioners actually have to make a choice on their own. Now, with this being said, back to my previous example, I had to actually petition the city to change the use of my space from retail to office space. So typically, no one has a problem with that space being turned into an educational space. So applying for this type of zoning typically is not disputed. You're not going to have an issue. But I still want to let you know how the process works. Now, I will say zoning for a vocational school is actually very different in every city because it may actually be called something different. So I don't know what it's called in your city or what it's referred to, but in my city, it was just office space. Just let them know you're starting an adult educational institute and they can help you figure out the proper zoning. But be sure to use the word adult and not K through 12, okay? Because K through 12 is a totally different type of learning. It requires a whole different type of set of zoning laws, and you don't want to be held to that, believe me. Like, they were asking me, do I have water fountains? So let them know it's an adult educational institute. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, Victoria, how am I supposed to do all this before I even sign a lease? And to tell you the truth of the matter, you may not be able to do so until after you sign the lease. Just know that you can actually do this and ask these questions before you sign so you know what you're getting ready to step into. The zoning process can actually take 30 to 90 days depending on the requirements or the changes and depending on when the meeting is going to occur. So please keep that in mind when budgeting. You might be sitting in a space waiting for zoning, so you have to pay rent during that time. Also, there are typically zoning application fees that you may have to pay, but I mean, I've never seen one over $100. So it's very minimal to say the least, considering everything else you've paid for to get the school off the ground. If you learned something in this video, be sure, take a moment right now, hit the like button. I hope this video gave you very good insight on what the world of zoning looks like and how it can actually affect your business. If you need help getting your vocational school started, see the description box below. and connect. Starting healthcare training schools is what we do for a living. It's what we've done for the past 5 years. We love it. We know every situation that could possibly come about because more than likely we've endured it. We are the premier healthcare training school consulting firm in the nation. So it's time that we worked with you so that you can be the best school that you can be. Email us at info@thesecretcocktail.com and let's make magic, baby. Bye.